Well, welcome back to another episode of Outside of the Box. We're going through some questions, and one of the questions we've vetted over the years was why would a funeral home have a permanent liquor license? Now it's 2025. We actually had our permanent liquor license in Chatham since 2017. Um, and at the time, it was pretty controversial. Um, Realistically, when we were going for a liquor license, we were in the process of updating our reception center. So we've always had a separate reception center, separate from the funeral home. And so I'll show you here. So basically, it's not that people were drinking in the pews. It was that during their celebration afterwards, or if they're having a celebration over here, they could have beer, wine, and sometimes spirits. We'd offer a toast. People could put their video tributes on the video wall, or we could create some ambiance with some stock footage of different scenarios. So it was always very tastefully done. And realistically, people have been having a beverage after a funeral at the Legion, or they'll be having their events at golf courses more and more. So to keep ahead of the times, we just wanted to have our own area where we people could celebrate in that capacity. So I know that in your home country, you're familiar with that, Brian.
I do. There's a lot of people moving in from Ireland to England, everywhere from Europe, coming to Chatham, and they do ask, "Oh, what do you do here? What are the traditions that we can do at a funeral home?" We're used to like 3 day wakes. We can't do that unfortunately here, but still being able to have a toast with the family is super important. Being able to have a few drinks and share the laughs, share stories. That's something that's really important to a lot of folks. And being able to just have a drink with it makes it a little bit easier, I think.
And we are, as you all know, we're all Smart Serve educated. So Brian is definitely one of our bar stewards here, and as such, we're gonna
There you
go. Well done. The Irish accent helps, but it's more or less a celebration, and so
go.
it's just good to have those options for families. So
And we have a lot of options, as you can see there. And as you know, we can arrange more for families if they request it. There's whiskey that they can have. We've done before. Vodka shots, things like that. That if the family needs it, we can have more than what's just in that photo.
definitely. I know, like I say, it was very controversial. And as we were putting this video together, there's a number of articles that came out when we opened up our liquor license. CTV News had a big special on it as well. And I was wearing, I guess, the same suit and tie that day, but I looked a little younger back then. So yeah, funeral services aged me. That's for sure. So.
Hair, I think, is the only thing that's changed. And the beard.
Yeah, right. So, and I know, Brooke, I know you've served as a bar steward for a number of these events too. How have you found how things have changed with families over the years?
Well, we definitely see a lot more celebrations of life, and people are a lot more comfortable with having liquor involved with that celebration. And again, as Brian said, it does sometimes just help take that little edge off. It just allows people to relax a little more and be able to laugh and talk and be able to share those stories while still being able to grieve the passing of their loved one. As a funeral director, as well as a bar steward, we have different levels of that connection with the family. I could be sitting down with them to go over the funeral service and for that celebration of life with their loved one. And then they see me at that capacity. And then they see me behind the bar being able to help continue on with that celebration and be able to show them that level of connection and be able to have that little bit of a familiar face to make it comfortable so they're not always constantly seeing different people.
Right. And it's nice to sometimes dad will have a favorite beer that others may not normally drink, but they want to do that in his honor that day. Or the first one we ever had was a toast. We had a small toast of scotch because dad was a Scotch man. So it was just having that toast. Everyone came together and the family gave a toast, and it was just to create that meaningful experience, right? And this is one more area of personalization that we can encourage, because
Well, it's
more and more
another
people
memory.
have heard that. Pardon?
It's another memory people can have and share. So it's
Well, and some of their
And
best
it's
memories, sorry,
Mhm.
some of
Go
their
ahead.
best memories might be, out on a nice summer day, out on the patio at the farm or at mom and dad's house, and they're having a drink and being able to talk about life and stories and catch up. So now they get to do it at a little bit of a different capacity.
That's right. And often I find people have asked questions about it, but realistically, often these events are in the afternoon or even the ones in the evening. Funerals are a lot different than weddings. People don't get as wild. They may have a drink or two, and it's very low key. It's maybe not like how some things got back home there, Brian, but
Nobody's ever been drunk here. I can
right.
honestly say that I've never had to warn a person from having too much or anything. We keep an eye on people. We be careful. We watch everybody who we're serving, but I don't think we've ever had any trouble with it at all.
Well, like I say, it was a lot of controversy at the time, but really, um, it's just thinking outside the box, and that didn't mean to say the title of the segment. But all right, well, thank you everyone for watching.